Blackwater is a hired army of mercenaries used by private organizations and bigger companies, but its main employer is the US government. Although they now go under the name Academy, they are essentially the same mercenary group. In today's video, we will take a look at what Blackwater is and why the founder of Blackwater signed a deal with China recently. Alright, so recently Blackwater has undergone a few name changes, but the company itself largely remains the same, so we will use the popular name Blackwater. Typically, Blackwater has been contracted by the US government or by the CIA. And they really rose to power back in 2005 when they participated in the wars and fought alongside the US military in all of the wars in the Middle East. For every large-scale US military operation, you can expect Blackwater to be right there alongside the military. So by having his mercenaries participate in all of these wars, Erik Prince, who founded Blackwater, quickly rose to high standing within the CIA. And as he gained influence, his mercenaries began being spotted all around the world. In the early days, at least on the surface, they would look a lot like patriots helping out the US Army. But as this article goes into, these people are mercenaries at the core. And now they are operating on small and large-scale conflicts all across the world. Back in 2007 to 2009, reports began coming in of these US military-looking guys who began killing civilians in Iraq. You see, these mercenary groups, they have a tendency to leave a trail of war crimes behind them. They are unchecked in a way that the US military isn't, and they are private organizations, so at the same time it's very difficult to hold them responsible for anything. All of that kinda incentivizes the company to use tougher means to get the job done. So after taking a lot of heat for all of this, they changed the name to C Services, and then again later on to what it's called today, Academy. So not too long ago, the founder, this Erik Prince guy, he made a new deal, but this time with China. And many argue that an American training up these Chinese soldiers and special forces in these times specifically is not really a good idea. But nevertheless, Prince has now created this military-styled training school, which this article talks a little about. Behind Erik Prince's China venture, the Blackwater founder has got a lucrative security training deal with Chinese insiders, but is it against US interests? The International Security Defense College in Beijing is a private security training school that is overseen by Frontier Services Group, which was founded by Erik Prince, a former Navy SEAL who created Blackwater. The article goes on to read, in November, Frontier graduated its first class of overseas security specialists who were given strict, strenuous, and systematic training to manage security in high-risk environments, war zones, and operations across the globe, according to a Frontier promotional statement. Prince delivered the commencement address by video link. The school's promotional materials boast that Frontier has trained more than 5,000 Chinese military personnel, 200 plainclothes police officers, 500 SWAT specialists, 200 rail police officers, and 300 overseas military police officers. A slogan painted on the school's wall reads, "Training ground for warriors." To anyone seeing this should be a worrying sign. And why? Well, Erik Prince had deep ties to the CIA and an intimate knowledge of how the US Army works. So signing on with the Chinese and teaching the soldiers what he knows doesn't really seem like the best idea, does it? And in all fairness, I just want to mention that the US isn't the only superpower in the world deploying these mercenary groups. Russia has its very own mercenary group called the Wagner Group. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the Wagner Group, but I will leave you guys a link up here that you can click, which will lead you to the video I made specifically about the Wagner Group. So, the big question remains, should these superpowers use these mercenary groups to take on the missions that their individual militaries can do because they're either too dangerous or a military just can't be seen doing those missions? I mean, it's not like the military doesn't commit war crimes, but at least they're kept in check to a certain extent. And even though Blackwater or Academy consists mostly of ex-US military forces that are very patriotic, the business by its own nature is not. Alright, let me know what you guys think about deploying special forces as mercenaries in these wars. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.